Afternoon, folks. Welcome back. It's John Pettipas doing a video. It's 20 minutes past 5 o'clock in the afternoon of Tuesday, the 30th day of August. And I'm doing a tribute. I just learned that the late Leonard MacDonald, former long-serving Mayor Mulgrave's wife, she herself was a councillor and served in Mulgrave Town Council, and died. I just heard it in Siege of X News Supper Hour obituaries after news, before the sports. And she was quite the cat. It's a warm afternoon, and no, Anne, I don't have a tie on. It's very warm in his office, and I'm quite certain if she has anything to say about it, not wearing a tie during tribute, the phone will ring before the video's over. She'll be phoning from heaven. Okay, she was a very direct lady, and she was a very good lady. You couldn't help but like Anne. She was in a big family on Post Road, Anakin-ish. Cosmans, like the flower Cosmans. And she met Leonard, and he wasn't a big family. Thank God in his family, I think there was something like 15 or 16 McDonald's. And the Cosmans, I believe, were about 10 or so. So you put both families together and the kids, you'd have the school bus half 2/3 full. And so this lady from Post Road, Anakin-ish, went to Mulgrave, and I got so many memories of her, and they're all good ones. One day she'd come in this fruit stand with her husband. The kids were there. Kids were small then. And they bought a 50-pound bag of potatoes the following year, and they bought a bag of apples, bushel of apples, 10-pound a peck they call it, and the carrots, vegetables, whatever else they had. And so anyway, when it was time to go, the cashier that knew her well and grew up with her, I think went to school, and said, "No," she told him. And said, "That would surprise me." Anyway, she paid the order, and he was starting to leave, and said, and should explain, I had the 50-pound bags of potatoes stacked by the door. And so he started to walk towards the door. And she said to him, "Leonard, aren't you going to carry this out?" Will said, "Yes, dear. I plan to carry the 50-pound bag of potatoes out to our car. Unless you want to carry the 50-pound bag of potatoes out," he said back to her, "and I'll take the 10 pounds of apples and the carrots." And thank you. But she very true. You had to love the lady. One day, several years later, she phoned me up between Christmas and New Year's and started to ask about business. And I answered all her questions sincerely. They were good questions. And she'd never been in business before. And by God, by that winter, early spring, she bought a store. It was the Coast Grocery on, it'd be not Hattie Street, next street over, I think. Is it Murray Street? Murray Street she bought it on. And it became the A&L Grocery, Anne and Leonard Grocery. And it did pretty well in those days, in the 80s and the 90s. And later she built a place on Main Street, next to the liquor store on Main Street, Mulgrave. And that store did very well. She later sold it. And so she wasn't, I'm going to sum up with something else very direct in a minute. Her husband was mayor for a long time. And you've heard the expression, the dirty laundry, air the dirty laundry. So she ran for council. And I don't like people that kiss the ass of relatives. And that's why I like Anne so much. She was Anne MacDonald, the mayor's late wife, widow, and now she's in heaven with him. Only good thing we can say about those, both Leonard and Anne are together in heaven. Maybe don't in the grocery store again, the A&L convenience store in heaven. Anyway, she... apparently, her laundry, the water, something happened at the water treatment plant, and she literally brought her laundry in, not dirty laundry, but her stained laundry, pointing out at a council meeting that her laundry, unbeknown to him, had got stains on it from the town water supply. So you had to love her. She didn't kiss the ass of relatives. She was very fair, very direct. I'm going to sum it up. I just about sent a text to one of her grandsons, and I said, "No, I got enough to say. I can make a video out of this one." And she deserves it. It's a complimentary tribute to her. That lady had more backbone and gall to most men. She had more balls on her than most men, or many men anyway. She just, figuratively, she wasn't afraid to try something. Leave Anakin-ish, go to Mulgrave, young lady, get married, have a wonderful family. One of the daughters, Karen, worked with me, and Karen's a wonderful lady. They take, and there's another sister, 3 kids, I think there's 3 kids. Okay, but they all grew up well, but the lady had determination, be it moved to Mulgrave from from Post Road, okay, moved to new community, to take and start her own store, okay, run for council. She was a good lady. She was, and so we're going to miss Anne. Let's say a prayer for her. Lady will say, Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace. Blessed are thee among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, thy baby Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. And I'm certain Anne is in heaven with her husband, and she's probably volunteering to pick flowers in the garden or do something. She's a go-getter. I didn't even realize that she was sick, and so her husband didn't die that long ago. And I express my sympathies to the grandkids. There's some of them I don't know. I don't know if there's any great-grandkids yet. And her son-in-laws and former son-in-law. And she was a wonderful lady. So with that, I wish you all the best. God bless. Her wake, I understand, is tomorrow, Wednesday, the 31st of August, at Mulgrave Area Resting Place, right across from St. Lawrence Catholic Church on Church Street, Mulgrave. Better check the hours. And it's afternoon, evening visitation. And the funeral will be held on Thursday, the 1st of September. I believe they said 1 o'clock, so check that too. But she was a wonderful lady. The world could use more Anne McDonald's. Yes, she was direct, but she was good. I'm going to repeat what I said. You couldn't help but like the lady. And I said that when she was alive. I said that when she was alive too. Thank you very much. All the best. God bless. Get a good supper on you. And again, my sincere condolences to her daughters. I believe it's 3 daughters. I'm not seeing any son. I think it's 3 daughters. Her daughters and her son-in-laws and former son-in-law, good guy too, and her grandkids. And I'm not certain if she's not that old, if there's any great-grandkids yet, but if there are, my condolences to them too. And she has many sisters and many in-laws. It's a big family on both sides. Thank you. Bye for now.